During the entrance procession, incense is carried before an acolyte who holds a long staff that bears the quintessential Christian symbol, the cross. Despite being part of the liturgy since at least the 6th century, the custom of processing while holding aloft ceremonial objects predates Christianity. Several cultures, like the Egyptians, Babylonians, and Greeks, had processions where ritual items were carried before priests, governors, and other persons of import. But arguably, the most direct influence on the development of the Christian processional cross can be found in the practices of ancient Rome, particularly in its use of a distinctive military object, the standard. For several hundred years, the Roman Empire encompassed much of the known world. Her conquests were a product of the army's efficiency, loyalty, and ferocity. One of the most striking visual aspects of the Imperial Army were tall poles affixed with various insignia and symbols called standards. Each century, cohort, and legion had its own symbols that were often associated with the birthday of the unit or its founder, while other emblems commemorated military exploits or other victories. In this way, standards helped preserve the cohesiveness and pride of the soldiers, as it embodied the unit's milestones and achievements. Standards served important wartime functions. Army units required a device to watch and follow in battle, and soldiers needed to recognize their own units at a glance in order not to be scattered. The tall standards were seen above the fighting, and waving them in a predetermined manner relayed troop movements and provided other instructions. As the empire grew, standards also helped unite the many soldiers who were recruited from foreign lands. The standards reminded them that before they were Britons, Gauls, or Balkans, they were above all a soldier for Rome. Off the field of battle, standards took part in several civic and religious celebrations where they were anointed with oils and carried in processions. Roman standards were held in awe, so much so that Tertullian, writing in the 2nd century, declared that soldiers worshipped their standards above all gods. Historians speculate that when Christianity was legalized and began to codify its liturgy in the 4th century, Roman standards served as inspiration for the development of the processional cross. John Chrysostom, Archbishop of Constantinople, and St. Augustine, Archbishop of Canterbury, were among the first to introduce its use. St. Bede, in his work The Ecclesiastical History of the English People, describes St. Augustine as carrying a silver cross for a standard. For ancient Rome, standards were seen as a distinguishing mark for its military units. Simply put, the Roman armies carried standards to show who they were. For us, the cross is the mark of our identity as Christians. It marks us as those claimed by Christ. It is the quintessential symbol that unites the faithful much more so than a national flag or coat of arms ever could. Before originating from one nation or another, before hailing from this family or that, even before being male or female, above all else, Christians belong to Christ and they follow His cross. It is befitting, then, that this tenet manifests itself literally by having a cross carried in procession. It is the mark that overshadows all others, and it is the cross that leads the faithful in worship.